Hey, welcome everyone. Tom here from Park Avenue Trading, your chief dealer, keeping you sane in these insane markets. It is Monday morning, 7:16 in the morning, November 18th, 2024. I can't believe I just did this whole video and it crashed, so I have to redo it. So anyway, I'll try not to lose enthusiasm. We're going to start the analysis off today with euro dollar because it's left up on my screen, and why not? So we have support right now on the day at 105.15. Okay, and there's resistance on the day at 105.70. If the euro dollar breaks 105.15, it's tracking down to the low of 104.94. If it breaks that, then euro dollar is heading down to that really important weekly point at 104.41. So right now, in order for it to show any type of strength, it really needs to basically get above this 105, say 60 level. Okay, I would say this level right here, 105.67. If we get above 105.67, it's going to attempt to get to 106.10. And then there's definitely some resistance at 106. Let's go 106.45 right there is the next level of resistance before the all-important point of 107 and 107.58. It is in a neutral to bearish tone. It's really been doing nothing. And same thing that's happening in sterling dollar. It's just been basically staying very, very quiet while dollar yen flies all over the place. So let's go on over to dollar yen. That's the next important currency we have for the day. Right now, as it stands, dollar yen went into a neutral to bearish tone on the week. It's basically recovering a little bit. For the day, it really needs to hold above 154. Hang on a second, let me see. $154.60. That's the important level on the day right here. 154.59, close enough. Needs to hold above this level in order to try to get to the 155.36. If it could break 155.36, then the next level, volatility level I have is really 156.60. So it opens its way to 156.60 again, and that would shake off some weakness, But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's just see what we're doing over here. 154. Oh, there it is. Okay, 156. Okay, I'll use the 156.80. That's an important weekly point. Instead of 60, I'll move it to 156.80. It's already there. So first line of resistance it's got to get through is 155.37. It needs to hold this 154, say 60 level. If it can't hold this 60 level, then it's tracking back down to this low bar's close right there. This guy, 154 the figure, 153.95-ish. If it breaks that, then we're heading towards that all-important level, 153.33. To me, it seems bullish on the day. I mean, I wouldn't be buying this breakout. I don't really believe in buying breakouts so much. I like to buy if it shows some strength, I like to buy on a dip, fib level or something like that. But the important level is that 154.60 for today. Let's move on over to good old, let's see, sterling dollar. That's what we got to do next. All right. This thing has really been same thing as euro dollar. It's not really doing anything. It's all based off of what dollar yen does. If dollar yen can take off, sterling dollar will probably be under a little bit of pressure. We had a level at 125.95. That level is still there, but it's moved down a little bit to 125.80 right here. 125.80. If it breaks 125.80, it's probably going down to 125.30. Now, it really needs to get above 126 126. Let's see. Let me look. Sterling dollar. It needs to get above 126.50 on the day right now. Right now, 126.50 is the important point. Oh, I hate this thing. 126.50. If we can get above 126.50, then we're and that next level is 126.73. It's 20 pips away. But if we can get above 126.50, I would say it's showing some strength. Since it's below 50 right now, it's basically showing weakness towards this low bar's close right here. And let me put a little rectangle around it right there. That low bar's close, which happens to be what? 126.06. I really don't know in cable. It's basically probably really nothing's happening. I'd be looking for resistance to hold in it right now, and it all depends on what dollar yen does. If dollar yen starts rallying, then cable basically probably has the ability to fall a little bit. Let's go on over to sterling yen. All right, so sterling yen. Let's change this color here. We have support really at 195.40 right now. If it breaks below 195.40, it's basically showing weakness again towards the 194. I would have to go 194.80 level right over here. 78 is good enough. Let's put a level here. 194.78. 77. If it breaks 194.77, it's basically trying to attack this low again, the low bar's close, which is 194.43. It needs to hold above this level right here, say 195.40, and then we'll probably have some we're gonna have resistance definitely at this top right here, 195, 196 the figure. Next line of resistance is 196.56. I don't really have a good handle on this one either. Dollar yen is messing me up a little bit. Sterling dollar basically is nothing. It's dollar yen. Dollar yen went on on a weekly. It went into a neutral to bearish tone. It's starting to recover right now. If it recovers faster and sterling dollar stays pinned, then the cross is going to move up. And you got to pay attention to each component of the cross. So 195.38 has to hold above in order to show strength. Let's move on over to euro yen. This is another crazy cross right for today for me. Anyway, today is a day probably I should just step aside. And those days happen. We need to get above 163.55. I said this on the weekly. This was like the factor point that I put in. We basically touched it, came up a little bit, haven't been able to get through it. I think it's in a big consolidation. If it breaks this 163.55, it's heading probably towards 164.37. Okay. There's definitely going to be resistance at, say, 164 the figure. That will be the first hurdle it needs to get over, and then the next resistance level, 164.37. If it breaks down from this point, say it breaks down to 162.80, if it breaks this 162.80, then it's going back down into this level here. All important point is 161.84. That's the all important solid support point. If that breaks, it's opening the way to 160 or 159.80, something like that. So I don't really have a good handle on it, fellas and ladies. The important point right here is this 163.55 level, and then obviously where I said it's got to hold above 160. Let's put that level there. I didn't put it there. 163.40 is like the pivot level on the day. 163.40. I'll throw that in, which is really close to this. It's unbelievable. That's good. It's really amazing. Like, look, it's popped it on the 1 hour. It hasn't been able to close below it. So really what I would think is it's going to show weakness if we get below this low and then we close below this low, then we could say we got weakness going back down to 162.80, something like that, 163 the figure. So that's where we stand right now in the currencies. Remember, always, always, always enjoy the party, but dance near the door. Cheers.